Did you know that even if you eat healthy, exercise, and take your medication, your blood sugar could still be out of control? That's because there are 6 silent habits destroying your blood sugar every single day, and the scariest part? You probably don't even realize you're doing them. These aren't just bad habits, they're metabolic landmines that spike your glucose, damage your organs, and make diabetes harder to manage with each passing day. Some of them are so common, even doctors often forget to mention them. For example, did you know that skipping meals can cause your blood sugar to crash, only to spike right back up the next time you eat? Or that just sitting for too long, yes, sitting, can raise your blood sugar as much as eating a donut? And it gets worse. One of the most damaging habits is something you probably do every morning, thinking it's healthy. You see, managing diabetes isn't just about avoiding sweets or counting carbs. It's about understanding how your daily routine, from the moment you wake up to when you go to sleep, silently influences your blood sugar. Maybe you've been trying your best, but the numbers just won't improve. Maybe you feel frustrated, tired, or stuck. This video could be the turning point. We're going to break down all 6 harmful habits, in simple language, backed by science, and show you exactly what to do instead. Whether you're newly diagnosed or have been battling high blood sugar for years, this might be the one video that helps you take real control of your health. So stay with me, because if you're serious about beating diabetes and feeling better every single day, you can't afford to ignore this. Let's start with the most overlooked and most dangerous habit of all. Habit number 1. Eating refined sugar and processed foods. Let's be honest, that healthy-looking granola bar, that fruit-flavored yogurt, that whole-grain cereal, they might look innocent, but many of them are sugar bombs in disguise. Here's the scary part. Refined sugars and ultra-processed foods don't just spike your blood sugar, they train your body to crave more. The result? A roller coaster of glucose highs and lows, constant hunger, weight gain, and worst of all, insulin resistance. That's right, every time you grab a sugary snack or processed convenience food, your pancreas has to pump out more insulin to handle the spike. Over time, your body starts ignoring that insulin, like background noise. This is the start of metabolic chaos. And it's not just candy or soda we're talking about. A white bread, a packaged snacks, instant noodles, a sugary drinks marketed as healthy, a flavored yogurts, a breakfast cereals pretending to be whole food. Even worse, many of these foods cause you to feel hungry sooner, making you eat more often and more impulsively. It's a vicious cycle. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up flavor or fun to eat smart. You can swap a soda, sparkling water with lemon, a white rice, brown rice, or quinoa, a flavored yogurt, plain Greek yogurt with berries, a chips, roasted chickpeas, or mixed nuts. Small changes equals massive results over time. And here's something most people don't realize. That healthy smoothie you bought this morning, it might contain more sugar than a can of soda. Even snacks labeled as low-fat or heart-healthy can be loaded with hidden sweeteners like fructose, maltodextrin, or corn syrup solids. These sugars don't just hide in obvious places. They lurk in salad dressings, sauces, soups, even whole wheat bread. You think you're eating clean, but your blood sugar says otherwise. Imagine this. What if the one simple food choice you made today could lower your blood sugar tonight? What if just skipping that one harmless pastry could protect your body in the long run? Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked the real sugar content on something labeled healthy? You might be shocked by what you find. Okay, cutting back on sugar is huge. But what you replace it with, that matters even more. Before we get into that, let's talk about the second most common trap that ruins blood sugar for millions of people, and it might be sitting in your lunchbox right now. Habit number 2. Overloading on refined carbs and fast food. Let's face it, most people aren't eating candy all day. But refined carbs? That's a whole different story. Think about your last, quick meal. Was it white rice? Pasta? A sandwich on white bread? Maybe a slice of pizza or some fries? Here's the problem. Even if these foods aren't sweet, they act like sugar in your body. Refined carbohydrates are stripped of fiber, protein, and nutrients, which means your body digests them fast. Too fast. The result? A sudden spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash that leaves you tired, hungry, and craving more. This blood sugar roller coaster isn't just exhausting, it puts your pancreas on overdrive, forces more insulin release, and pushes you closer to insulin resistance every time. Now combine that with fast food, loaded with refined flour, added sugars, trans fats, and sodium, and you've got a recipe for metabolic disaster. Let's break it down. A bowl of white rice can spike blood sugar just like a can of soda. Instant noodles, high glycemic index, low fiber. A fast food burgers, the bun alone can sabotage your blood sugar before you even get to the fries. But here's the twist, you can still enjoy carbs, the right ones. Choose a brown rice or quinoa over white rice, a whole grain bread over white bread, a sweet potatoes over fries, a lentil or bean-based pasta instead of regular noodles. Let's take a real-world example. A typical fast food lunch, cheeseburger, fries, and a soft drink. Seems like a normal meal, right? But that combo hits your body like a sugar bomb. The white bun, refined flour. The fries, fried starch with nearly zero fiber. The soda, over 30 grams of sugar in a single cup. This meal can cause a blood sugar spike of over 150 milligrams per deciliter in less than an hour, and crash soon after. That's where glycemic index, GI, comes in. GI measures how quickly a food raises your blood sugar. High GI foods like white bread, white rice, and sugary snacks digest quickly and flood your bloodstream with glucose. Low GI foods like oats, legumes, and leafy greens digest slowly, keeping your energy stable and cravings low. So next time you plan a meal, ask, how fast will this hit my bloodstream? Aim for foods that take time to digest, ones that are rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats. They're your best defense against sugar crashes and insulin spikes. You don't need to go zero carb. You need to go smart carb. Now here's a question. When was the last time you ate a healthy meal that left you starving an hour later? Chances are, it was packed with fast-digesting carbs and not enough fiber or protein. We've talked sugar. We've talked carbs. But now it's time to face one of the sneakiest blood sugar saboteurs of all. Most diabetics don't know number 3. This one's not about food. It's not about sugar. It's about what you're not doing, and it might be the reason your blood sugar stays high, no matter what you eat. Habit number 3. Sitting too much and not moving your body. Let me ask you this. How many hours a day do you spend sitting? Be honest. Between your job, commuting, eating, and screen time, it adds up fast. And here's the problem. Your blood sugar responds to movement. Or in this case, lack of it. When you sit too much, your muscles stop absorbing glucose efficiently. Your body becomes less sensitive to insulin, and that means sugar stays in your bloodstream longer. You might be eating clean, taking your meds, even exercising, but if you're sitting for 8 to 10 hours a day, you're undoing your progress without realizing it. Here's what the science says. Extended sitting slows your metabolism, reduces calorie burn, and increases fat storage, especially belly fat, which is tightly linked to insulin resistance. Even worse, inactivity boosts stress hormones like cortisol, which makes things worse by raising blood sugar even more. Let's break it down. A sedentary lifestyle raises blood sugar, increases insulin resistance, promotes weight gain, worsens inflammation, slows circulation, raises your risk of complications like nerve damage and poor wound healing. And here's a scary truth. Even if you exercise once a day, sitting for too long in one stretch is still dangerous. So what can you do? Start with movement breaks. Every 30 to 60 minutes, get up, stretch, walk around. Even just 2 minutes of light movement can reset your blood sugar response. Build NEAT into your life. That's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It means all the little movements that burn calories and support metabolism. a taking the stairs, a standing while on phone calls, a walking during lunch, a doing chores with purpose. Don't underestimate these small wins, they add up. Take James, for example. He works a desk job, 9 to 5, 5 days a week. He hits the gym for 45 minutes every evening, but spends nearly 10 hours a day sitting. Despite his efforts, his blood sugar remains stubbornly high. Why? Because movement isn't just about exercise. It's about frequency. When we sit for long periods, blood flow slows down. Muscles go idle. Oxygen and nutrients struggle to circulate. And the stress hormone cortisol starts creeping upward. Chronically elevated cortisol not only raises blood sugar but also increases belly fat, cravings, and inflammation, a dangerous combo for anyone with diabetes. A better strategy: break your day into movement blocks. Stretch for 2 minutes before your morning coffee. Walk 100 steps after meals. Set a timer every hour to stand up. These small routines can reawaken your metabolism, one habit at a time. Imagine this. 2 people eat the same meal. One goes for a 15-minute walk after. The other slouches on the couch. One sees a gentle glucose rise and fall. The other, a sharp spike and sluggish return. Movement matters. More than most people think. Now here's your reflection moment. What's one time during your day where you could add a small movement, but usually don't? That's your opportunity. That's your blood sugar window. If your job keeps you at a desk, try a standing desk, leg movements under the table, or even a short stretch timer. Watching TV at night? Use commercial breaks to stand or do a few steps in place. The point isn't to be perfect, it's to be proactive. Alright, so now you know sitting is more dangerous than it looks. But what if you're also doing something that literally poisons your insulin response every time you do it? Habit number 4, smoking, and yes, that includes vaping. Here's a cold truth. You can eat healthy, exercise, and manage your medication perfectly. But if you smoke, even occasionally, you're quietly wrecking your blood sugar control. Most people think smoking only damages the lungs. But the reality? Nicotine is a full-body disruptor. It messes with nearly every system, including how your body processes insulin. Let's break it down. Every time you smoke, nicotine narrows your blood vessels, reducing circulation. Less blood flow equals less oxygen and nutrients to cells. For diabetics, that means slower healing, increased infection risk, and poor wound recovery, especially in the feet and extremities. But it gets worse. Nicotine directly triggers insulin resistance, meaning your body needs more insulin to manage the same amount of sugar. Over time, this leads to higher blood sugar, more cravings, and even greater difficulty controlling diabetes. And don't fall for the vape trap. Many think e-cigarettes are safer, but research shows vaping still increases insulin resistance, oxidative stress, and inflammation, all of which worsen diabetes outcomes. Here's a real kicker. People who smoke are 30% to 40% more likely to develop type 2 diabetes. And if you already have it, you're far more likely to suffer from heart disease, nerve damage, kidney failure, or even limb amputation. Still think a few puffs don't matter? Take Sarah, for example. She's been managing her type 2 diabetes for years. But every time work gets stressful, she reaches for a cigarette. Just one, she tells herself. But here's what she didn't realize. That nicotine hit triggers the release of adrenaline and cortisol, spiking blood sugar almost instantly. Worse, nicotine binds to receptors that interfere with how insulin communicates with your cells. Over time, it makes those cells deaf to insulin signal, a condition called insulin resistance. Breaking the cycle isn't just about willpower. It's about replacing the relief smoking gives with something healthier. Try deep breathing, a quick walk, or even holding a cold glass of water. Physical rituals can retrain your stress response over time. The good news: your body begins to heal almost immediately after you quit. Within 20 minutes, heart rate and blood pressure drop. Within weeks, circulation improves. Within months, insulin sensitivity begins to recover. Need help? A nicotine patches or gum, a counseling or support groups, a meditation or breathing exercises, a replacing the smoking ritual with healthy habits like walking or chewing sugar-free gum. Quitting isn't easy, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do to regain control of your health. And here's your moment of reflection. If your future self, 10 years from now, could speak to you today, would they thank you or beg you to stop? Now that we've tackled nicotine, let's shift gears. Because the next habit doesn't come from your lungs, it starts in your mind. Habit number 5, chronic stress, and how it secretly pushes your blood sugar higher every day. Here's something most people don't realize. Stress isn't just in your head, it shows up in your bloodstream. When you're stressed, whether it's from work, family, finances, or even traffic, your body enters fight or flight mode. And your brain thinks it's under attack. So it calls in the reinforcements, cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are supposed to help you escape danger. They raise your heart rate, increase blood pressure, and most importantly, dump glucose into your bloodstream to give you instant energy. That's great if you're being chased by a lion. But if you're just sitting at your desk reading emails, now you've got high blood sugar with nowhere to go. The worst part? This happens every single time you feel anxious, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained. Your body releases more sugar, even if you haven't eaten a thing. And if that stress becomes chronic, happening daily, weekly, non-stop, it causes long-term elevation in blood sugar and insulin resistance. Over time, it burns out your adrenal system, weakens insulin signaling, and creates persistent glucose elevation, even if your diet is perfect. Let's make it real. Take Mike, a 42-year-old dad working 2 jobs. He skips breakfast, grabs fast food on the go, constantly checks emails, and barely sleeps. He doesn't smoke. He walks daily. But his blood sugar is still high. Why? His stress is constant. His cortisol levels never reset. And his body thinks it's always in danger. But here's the good news. You can break the cycle. Start with deep breathing. Just 60 seconds of slow breaths can lower cortisol almost immediately. Try mindful walking, journaling, or even stretching. Simple movements calm your nervous system. Limit screen time before bed. Blue light increases stress hormones and disturbs sleep. And don't underestimate the power of sleep. It's your #1 natural stress reset. And here's where things get even trickier. Stress and poor sleep are a toxic combo. When you're stressed, you sleep less. And when you sleep less, your body produces even more cortisol, creating a vicious cycle that keeps your blood sugar elevated around the clock. Sleep deprivation has been shown to reduce insulin sensitivity by up to 30% in just a few days. That means your body struggles to use the insulin it produces, even if your diet is clean. You wake up tired, crave carbs, eat impulsively, and stay in survival mode all day long. The fix? It doesn't have to be a full lifestyle overhaul. Start with a simple 30-second reset. Close your eyes, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Do this 3 times, morning, midday, and before bed. You'll feel your shoulders drop and your mind reset instantly. Then build a stress-proof morning habit. Stretch for 2 minutes. Write down one thing you're grateful for. Drink water before checking your phone. These tiny anchors ground your day and keep cortisol from taking over before breakfast. And if you're into data, track your stress using a smartwatch, meditation app, or simply rate your stress level 1 to 10 before meals. Awareness equals power. Now pause for a moment. What's one daily habit that secretly stresses you out, but you've accepted as normal? That could be your biggest hidden blood sugar trigger. You don't have to eliminate stress, that's impossible. But you can learn to respond differently. Train your body to stay calm, and your blood sugar will thank you. Now we've tackled stress, the silent sugar spike. But there's one more habit that sneaks in when you're relaxing, socializing, or celebrating, and most people have no idea how dangerous it really is. Habit number 6, drinking too much alcohol, the blood sugar roller coaster you didn't see coming. You probably know alcohol can harm your liver. But did you know it can completely wreck your blood sugar control? Let's say you're out with friends. One drink turns into 2, maybe 3. You feel fine, maybe even relaxed. But inside your body, a biochemical storm is brewing. Here's what really happens. When alcohol enters your system, your liver stops processing glucose and focuses on detoxifying the alcohol. That means your blood sugar regulation goes offline. For people with diabetes, this creates 2 dangerous scenarios. Hypoglycemia, blood sugar crash, especially if you drink on an empty stomach. Hyperglycemia, blood sugar spike, especially if you're mixing alcohol with sugary mixers like soda or juice. It's a lose-lose. Over time, excessive alcohol weakens your liver, increases belly fat, reduces insulin sensitivity, and inflames your pancreas, the very organ that makes insulin. And it's not just hard liquor. Wine, beer, and cocktails can all contain hidden carbs and sugars that spike your blood glucose fast. But here's the thing, you don't have to give up alcohol entirely. Choose dry wine or spirits with soda water instead of sugary mixers. Always eat something before drinking, especially protein and healthy fats. Limit yourself to 1 to 2 drinks and hydrate in between. It's about control, not perfection. And here's the science behind it. Your liver is your body's metabolic powerhouse. But when it's flooded with alcohol, it can't store or release glucose properly, leaving your blood sugar unstable. Meanwhile, your pancreas, which produces insulin, also takes a hit. Chronic drinking inflames it, making insulin secretion sluggish and unreliable. The result? Even when you eat well, your blood sugar spikes erratically, and recovery is slower. And it doesn't stop there. Alcohol increases triglycerides, fuels fatty liver disease, and raises your risk of developing type 2 diabetes, even if you don't have it yet. But here's the empowering truth. You don't need to quit everything. You just need to get back in control. Every mindful choice, every skipped drink, every smart swap pushes you closer to stable energy, better sleep, and a healthier life. So next time you reach for a drink, ask yourself, is this helping me or holding me back? Let's make it real. Think about your last drink. Was it part of a celebration or a coping mechanism? Was it intentional or automatic? Here's your reflection moment. If your blood sugar could talk, what would it say after a night of drinking? Alcohol lowers your inhibitions, and that affects your food choices, too. After a few drinks, most people reach for fries, pizza, or dessert, adding fuel to the fire. The key isn't just what you drink, it's what you do next. Now we've uncovered the 6 habits silently destroying blood sugar control. But don't worry, small changes lead to massive results. Let's wrap this up with a powerful recap and give you the ultimate cheat sheet to lower blood sugar naturally. So let's recap the 6 harmful habits that quietly destroy your blood sugar control. 1. Eating ultra-processed sugary foods. 2. Relying on refined carbs and junk meals. 3. Sitting too much and not moving enough. 4. Smoking or vaping. 5. Living with constant stress. 6. Drinking too much alcohol. Now here's the truth most people won't tell you. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Small changes, like swapping soda for water, walking 10 minutes after meals, breathing deeply before bed, can create massive health wins over time. Your mission now: pick one habit from this list. Just one small change, and stick with it this week. Because the real power is not just knowing what to do, it's doing it. Drop a comment. Which habit hit you the hardest today? Smash that like if you learned something new. Hit subscribe for more smart, no BS health tips. And share this video with someone you care about. Their health might depend on it. Together, we're building a healthier future, one smart habit at a time. And if you're thinking, it's too late for me, stop right there. Whether you're 25 or 65, your body is more adaptable than you think. Every healthy decision you make today rewrites tomorrow's outcome. Picture this. You, 1 year from now, waking up with more energy, fewer cravings, better sleep, and steady blood sugar levels. That future starts with a single decision. One swap, one walk, one meal, one less cigarette, one glass of water instead of wine. That's how transformation begins. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't be. You don't have to fix everything at once. Pick one habit, one battle, win it, then move to the next. Because the biggest mistake you can make is to watch this entire video and change nothing. So here's a challenge. For the next 7 days, commit to one healthy habit. Track it, own it, share your progress in the comments. We'll cheer you on. And remember, you're not doing this alone. There are millions of people out there, just like you, who are ready to fight back against diabetes, one habit at a time. So if this video helped you, don't just like it, live it. Don't just watch it, share it. And don't just subscribe, commit. This is your journey, your body, your future. And it all starts right now.